Bonafide Hustler here. I got a lot of stuff I want to show you guys on this video. Things that I bought used that will sell for more money. What's going on, guys and gals? Chris the Bonafide Hustler comes to you live from the inside of my garage. I have a table set up here because I have a lot of things to put into boxes. But as you know, the way I like to run my business is being a content creator. I gotta show you some of these things and then I put them in boxes and then they're listed or they're ready to go and they're out of my way. So this garage is getting a little chaotic and I want to make sure that I can put everything in a box. But before I do that, I wanted to make sure to open up a video. Some of these items I found at garage sales, found at thrift stores, the bins, and some you might have seen in a previous vlog recently, but they're still here and so we might cover them here on this video. But that's basically what's going on. Follow me on Instagram at the Bonafide Hustler and you can get the free money making guide. It's the first link down below. Go check it out. It'll teach you some items that you should start looking for that you can sell that are predominantly used and found at thrift stores and at places like garage sales. Okay, so we're just gonna start off and I'm gonna show you just random items. Here's one right here that was $1 at a garage sale. And this is a Tumi, forget what it's called, like a travel pass backpack. It's actually a pretty important bag to know about when you're dealing with Tumi. It's a design that's been around for like 5 to 10 years. It's made out of ballistic nylon. It's got plenty of pockets everywhere. Very TSA friendly kind of bag. These things often sell for $100 or more, but this one's in kind of rougher shape, so I'm thinking about 50 to 70 on something like this. But Tumi's a great bag brand that you should know about and you should be looking for when you're at garage sales or at thrift stores. Next up from the Goodwill bins is this very small scale display kind of wall unit for micro scale kind of trains. I forget what the actual letter is, but yeah, it's definitely a very small gauge. The gauge is actually about a ½ inch. And you'd put trains or locomotives on this, put it on a wall. So it's very good for a like a hobbyist kind of person. I did turn down, I think, a $40 or $60 offer on this. I found it at the bin, so it's basically, I probably paid like $1 or $2 for it based on weight. But yeah, I think it could sell between like $80 and $100. And this is what it looks like right here. It's in really good condition on the back of it. It's got some little mounting things right here that you would just put it on screws or something in your wall. But that's pretty neat right here, and a hobbyist will love to have this. The competing one that I see on eBay right now is like $150 or something like that, so I basically got under that person. And we'll see if I can get $80 to $100 for this right here. At a garage sale, I think these were $5, maybe even $3, but these are XA Amphib, right? This is a water resistant or waterproof shoe by Salomon, but the funny thing is it's more like a water shoe, so it has a lot of, you know, holes in it and everything like that. But it's basically for like, you know, rivers, streams, if you're a fisherman or something like that and you want to step around and get around. This is a good shoe for that. So yeah, these things sell between like $40 and $70. This colorway, it could be closer to like 60 or 70, but Salomon's a really good brand of shoe to look out for. Right here, the XA Amphib is not the most popular one, but for $5 I had to pop on it, and I'll just stick it in a box like this and off it'll go. It might even be in a poly bag because it is pretty compact and these are very light shoes. So yeah, this was at a garage sale for like $3 or $5 right here. So also at a garage sale, and I did cover this on a vlog, is this right here. And by the way, I am coming out with a new guide called High Ticket to Items Bucks number 3. Some of the items that you see here, some of them will make it into that guide, or just the genre of that item. And this is a perfect example of a high ticket items to bucks. And this right here is a swung glass vase. These are typically from like the 60s or the 70s. They're very popular, and oftentimes something even as short as this would sell for like $200 already. So we bought this for $5 at a garage sale. I knew the second I saw it, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not current day, because I've flipped another one that was, you know, I flipped another one about a year ago that was about this tall, and that thing sold for like $635 in my booth. So, and I was $1 into it. This one right here, I'm $5 into it. I expect to sell this thing between like $200 and $300. But this is a swung glass vase right there. I mean, I think this is a Viking brand if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, not something you see every single day, but you should look out for this design right here. Hey, if you're enjoying this kind of video, make sure you hit a like button. I'm considering about making stuff like this or dedicated more long-form content like this where it's not like super snappy or I'm out in the field doing things. I'm thinking about making a small kind of membership thing here on YouTube, kind of similar to Patreon, but it would be here on YouTube. So I'm thinking about it. If you like these kind of videos, make sure you put a comment, you know, give me some feedback, and let's get on with the show. All right, so at garage sales right here, this was 2 for $8. What we have are New Bright radio-controlled 1/10 scale trucks. This kind of looks flimsy. It's because I took the 4 screws out and all I care about is this piece right here. So this could be marketed as a hard shell plastic 1/10 scale New Bright crawler body. I mean, those are the key words right there. This right here is probably going to sell between $50 and $100. This part rendered useless. I have the controllers, and it's got a battery in it. Everything doesn't matter. This goes into the trash. All I care about is this piece right here. And so, yeah, 4 screws. Gotta have sometimes a long screwdriver with a pretty long kind of end to it, but this is it right here. Oftentimes when you look at these, you're gonna wanna make sure to check for broken pieces, but this one doesn't have it. You're gonna provide the measurement from here to here, the wheelbase measurement from here to here, the width and the height, and that's pretty much it. Throw it into eBay and list it as the actual vehicle that it is. This is a Bronco right here, right? A Bronco Raptor, more specifically. So it does have the wider fenders and everything like that. Someone's gonna want this for sure. $50 to $70 is what I think on that. At the same garage sale, 2 for $8. This is the second one right here. Of course, I took that off, so this goes in the trash. And here we have a crawler body. This is a New Bright Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. I think this is almost like pressed steel maybe or something like that. It's not quite plastic, but it's very durable. This one also has a rack on top, and it has a shovel on the side, which is kind of neat. Of course, this measurement, that measurement, the height measurement, and then the wheelbase measurement right here. That's all you need to do to market those things right there. $50 to $70. I know someone offered me something for this. I think it might have been $40 and I declined it already. So, but just giving you an idea of like what to look out for. These little 1/10 scale crawler bodies. New Bright. Here's a cool find from a thrift store. I believe this was a $5.49 tag, so this was $6 out the door. This was neat. This is a tie-dye Nightmare on Elm Street shirt. This is technically a size large, although it's listed as extra large. So you provide measurements, make sure that a person seeking an extra large shirt doesn't get something that is large. So I made sure to put that into the listing. It's a pretty cool shirt right here. I wouldn't consider this an all-over design, but it is a tie-dye with a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing. It is a little bit more current day, but it is still kind of on the rare side. So I think somebody would like to have this between like $50 and about $80. I spent $6 for this at a Goodwill. At a garage sale, I think these were $5, if not less. These are Gripfast platform boots for men. And this is a size 12, so it's a pretty good size. I think it's gonna sell between like $100 and $150 because it's a platform one. It's a little bit more, rare of a style. I think this is not a steel toe, or it could be. I don't think it is because I can press down on this one part right here. Irregardless, the bottoms of these are really cool. These are made in England. These are actually in high ticket items to $3 along with another boot brand, but check it out. Gripfast, great boot to resell. You don't see it every single day, but these are made in England. They're pretty cool. And they're very big in the kind of punk kind of subculture, and goth subculture, these kind of boots. All right, next up, and this might be crooked. I had to switch a battery out. But next up is this Briggs Riley kind of shoulder travel bag. It is more current day. This should sell between, I don't know, $60 to maybe $80. It's a $5 find at a garage sale, and it's in great condition. Missing the shoulder strap, but it doesn't matter. This was a good pickup right here. This kind of has a waxy kind of cotton exterior, definitely TSA compliant, all that kind of stuff. And Briggs & Riley really know their travel game when it comes to bags, just like Tumi does. So pick this thing up right here, and yeah, I think it'll sell for that much. It's a Briggs & Riley bag. All right, on to some bigger things right here. We have an SKB case that was $30 at a garage sale. Pretty nice case, all waterproof, all that kind of stuff. And it does have foam inside, so you can put guitar pedals or whatever you want to transport from point A to point B and not get wet. So these are really good travel cases, especially for musicians and people that are into video and photo kind of stuff. So yeah, SKB, and a competing kind of case that's just as popular, that's just as good, would be Pelican. So just so you know those brands. But this is a pretty awesome one, and anytime they have the rolling wheels and obviously, this right here, now you're talking a little bit more money than one that's just a standalone carry bag. And it probably is like $50 to $100 more when it becomes a rolling kind of case. So that's pretty nice. SKB case. Not something you see every single day at a garage sale in this condition, like super mint, but look out for these things because they are out there. Now, I don't think this made it into any vlogs because the day that I found this, my parents were in town and I never vlogged it or whatever. We went to garage sales, and these are vintage, I think they're 90s or early 2000s, carbon 700C, made by DuPont, but they're basically specialized. They're made for that company. These are carbon fiber tri-spoke wheels, extremely rare to find them in a pair condition. And second of all, to find them with all the glossy stuff on them, with no fractures or anything like that, spinning bearings like real nicely and everything. So this right here, believe it or not, it's probably going to sell between like $400 and about $550, and I'm $10 into these right here. Not something you see every single day. If you're into carbon wheels or bladed carbon aero wheels, from back then, you would be looking at this right here, and you'd be looking at the Spinergy ones as well. But the Spinergy ones, almost every single time that I've found the Spinergy ones, and they're really cool looking, they're almost always messed up, and they're almost always not blown to pieces, but the carbon is definitely fractured in parts. So I haven't found an intact pair of Spinergy wheels from back then at all. But this right here, these are a lot more robust and thicker, and they have 3 blades as opposed to Spinergy, which I think had 4. And these blades are very thick. So yeah, they've survived all those years to make it to that garage sale for $10. I pick them up, and I do believe $400 to about $550 is what these are going to sell for right here. We're going to wrap up this video. Remember what I said. If you like this content and you're learning something, more specifically if you're learning something, put a comment down below, hit the like button. But the last one is something I found 2 days ago. Caught this listing within, I don't even know, it was very, like maybe 5 or 13 minutes. And this is a specialized, right here, I'll bring it a little closer if I can. This is a specialized Crave, which is a hardtail, meaning it's got a suspension in the front, but it has a hardtail, no suspension in the rear. It's a specialized Crave 29 wheel mountain bike. Pretty good condition, also has a RockShox front fork. So we're not dealing with a cheaper SR Suntour front fork, which they put on almost all of the more current day 29er bikes that are kind of entry level. This is a really good bike. We have hydraulic brakes, we have, you know, great gear shifting system. It's probably a 2017, 2018, but still a relevant wheel size. And this was $200, asking price was $300. I offered $200 cash if I can come right now, and I did. The stock tires are on it. It looks to be in great condition, some scratches here and there, but nothing that wouldn't make it worth $400 to $600 on resale is what I'm thinking this is going to be. So of course I'm going to aim for the $600 and maybe 2 weeks later $550 or something like that. But this is a specialized carve. I don't know if I said Crave, but this is a carve, sorry. Yeah, 29er. Cool bike. And of course, when you're dealing with these kind of bikes, like, look at the suspension. The front suspension or the rear suspension better be like RockShox or Fox or something like that. Those are the really good brands. And so when you start seeing SR Suntour or something like that, those are like shocks that won't blow up, but they are just cheap, and they're, I don't know how to explain it, but you don't have much adjustability on those kind of shocks. Whereas the Fox company and RockShox and all that kind of stuff, a lot of times these are air shocks where you can put an actual pump to it, and you can inflate the shock to give you as much or as little resistance as you're looking for based upon your body weight. So this is a cool bike to find for $200, and I think $400 to $600 is what it's going to sell for. This is where this video ends, and I hope you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Goodbye.